All right. Hello, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and then Capricorn reading. All right. So this card is the energy of the month of December 2020. It can reflect a strong message for you. For you guys, I feel like it means the rough year that you've been through and recognizing any mistakes, any kind of fears, rough sleeping, any issues to do with home and your home life, any kind of sadness, worry, anxiety. That's what the Nine of Swords represents, and the healing power of words and how we can really use it and flip it from the negative into a positive. Okay. So I'll give you guys the reading first for that month's energy. So it's a great time to reflect, especially, the world, enough people in the world resonate with the yearly business calendar, January to December. But I always like to tell people that work with me or watch my videos that the best time to make your affirmation is the start of spring. Okay, that's why a lot of people wonder why, hey, I start my New Year's resolution. For some people it works because they keep it up and they keep setting the intention even in spring again. So most people will, fall off the wagon, but you want to be mindful of the year you have and make peace with it, especially if you are a Taurus that identifies with this. If you don't identify with it, with most of the reading, that's fine. If you do, great. So Taurus, you want to bring more love into your life in December. You're hoping for that. You're hoping for maybe trips, time with friends, people that you've known for a long time, just really getting in touch with old friends. And with the energy of this year and all the sadness of this year, people losing loved ones, you want to really focus on what love, family, and friendship means, and really connecting to people on that level. Okay. For some of you, you will step out of your comfort zone and feel more comfortable. There's different things that each of you will need to work on, and you'll have that opportunity energetically to do so. So really connect to that. Okay. Now, where you want to see yourself is being around people that truly do care for you. And in order for you to do that, there is a really powerful calling within you to figure out how to just cut cords of any kind, right? And get to your destiny. So it's all about really being responsible for your own actions and letting go of negative karma and welcoming some good luck into your life. And once you allow yourself that rest that you need, you can move forward to creating, better friendships once you have worked out whatever it was that was the most biggest struggle for you this year. And sometimes it's hard for us to really look at ourselves and see, what we need to work on to just better ourselves for our own happiness and our relationship with others, especially the person's difficult to deal with, right? So it's figuring out in December how you can eliminate the best way that you can any kind of negative relationships. Okay. And it's not really throwing judgment anywhere. It's just figuring that out. And then this way you can see where you're going. You know where that person's coming from. You know where you're coming from. And that will help tremendously. I also want to mention and go a little bit deeper. When I see the Hierophant card, it's like a need for motherly love or guidance. And if you feel like you really haven't gotten that, this is the time where you actually feel that energy for yourself, making peace with whatever wisdom you felt like you weren't given, or maybe you didn't really listen to. So we got to own up to that as well. And you have the Page of Swords reversed. So make sure that you're not just talking about something, that you're actually putting in that action to do it. And this doesn't apply to all Taurus. Some Taurus will have issues with this, others won't, right? And you still want to express yourself and feel free to do that. But remember that there has to be action behind what you're saying, else it's just going to be no results for you, and the people around you that see it, they're going to see that. Okay, so December is just that time where you can see that you want love, you want stronger relationships, and you will have that. You'll have that because you have this right here. But make sure that you really do the work that you need to do, and you get to this point where you're at peace with yourself, right? You feel good about yourself emotionally, right? And you're going to have someone in your life that is just as powerful, okay, as you are, and finding that emotional balance, someone that can listen to the words that you say and it makes sense. But you have to have all of this within you first, so that that person isn't half of you, but a complement to you, right? And it's just building, not just like if you're looking for a partner that is emotionally balanced. That's not just it. It's also you being that as well, truly, right? And if you are already great, you're just going to find that match that is compassionate and balanced. All right, so I already read this card first. So which zodiac sign and planet is harder to learn from in December? And it seems that Pisces would be the sign hardest to kind of vibe with, and they're a water sign, so you guys should work out quite well. Maybe this Pisces has a stronger energy somewhere there that is kind of harder for you to vibe with. And then Pluto. And Pluto is all about shedding, and transformation. So maybe the change will be harder for you to accept and to work through. All right, so just definitely work on that. And what is easiest for you to accept in December? So another water sign, Scorpio's energy is easy to accept, maybe because they're very rebellious like you are in a sense, right? So it's kind, you kind of find it easier to vibe with that person. Then you have Neptune too, and it's easy for you to just dream away and kind of go into meditation and so on. But that's good. The Neptune energy is very good. It's very psychic. It's very dream world. It's really, enjoying your sleep and your newfound rest, or craving that still. But there still is a need to be realistic with whatever it is that's going on. That way you start the calendar year good, but also it's still that working progress to spring. Like I said in Aries video, Leo and Sagittarius, the fire signs video, is that the winter months is that time to really let go, right? It's the wintertime months is a time to still work on letting go, shedding what you need to, and do that deep spiritual work of strengthening yourself, mind, body, spirit. And it's also that time to appreciate what you have, okay? So I probably should have done an intro video like that for everyone, and I might start doing that again. All right, so next we're going to do Virgo and then Capricorn. All right, so Virgo. All right, so I set the highest intention. So, if the reading, and I have to say it for, I like to say the crazy people that watch tarot on YouTube. I have to say it because it is a fact. But for all the level-headed people that come on here, and I need to make a separate video for this, or an intro for this, I set the intention, I read the cards, and I also pull in what I feel, or not what I feel, but I pull in that reading, okay? So intuitively, as well as reading the cards. So if it vibes with you, great. If it doesn't, fine. So Virgo, you have the 10 of Pentacles, okay, as the main energy of the month of December. And you can take it as something you've been through for the whole year, right? Since December is closing out the calendar year that, you know, everyone resonates with, right? And it's about family, but also the wealth between family, right, and financial security. So that was a big concern for everyone this year. But for, this message is reaching out to Virgo about wealth, long-term success, what you contribute, what others contribute to that financial stability. So that's a big issue for December, and it's a concern and also a realization too, right? Every generation will have that. You'll have people that survived the Great Depression. They had their stories. That group of people has pretty much died off. Maybe their kids, some of their kids are still alive that can remember stories or recollection, right? So every generation has their thing. So the message for Virgo is about the power that you hold as a person starting on their journey, and how you build your relationship with money, right? And the power of your words when it comes to money, right? So how do you feel about money? What is your relationship with money, right? And if there's any fears around that, there is a realization of the core of manifesting that financial success. I had to put the selenite here, sidebar. So let me grab another one to help me point here. One of my older ones that I've had for years, right? So, you know, it's your relationship with money. So really thinking about it with the holidays coming up. And I feel like a lot of people I know I've always been creative with how I celebrate it, but a lot of people won't be able to celebrate it the way that they would like to. And just being creative, and it's all about family, right? So it's that thought of maybe learning a new skill. There might be a fear about going into this new skill, but there'll be a reason to celebrate, to believe in yourself, to really feel like, okay, I've gotten over my fear of money and manifesting. But then the month can still bring hardship in the sense of maybe not being able to be around everyone that you'd want to be around, just kind of being off to yourself, not so much of something too negative, right? But it will feel negative, right? Because you show up again with knowing that you have good people around you, or someone in your life to kind of distract you in a sense, or to bring about some kind of companionship. Now, there is still a struggle there, right? It's kind of like an up and down. There is a struggle there when it comes to finances, and when it comes to what you're going to do and where you need to go, okay? And a lot of it stems from not communicating what you're going through and not sharing what you're going through, all right? So there is some kind of disagreement, and I think that it will go back to money and how it is being spent, right? So there's still a conflict there, even though you're trying to make things better, right? And then at some point, you have to make a choice of moving forward. Okay? And that's going to take you being the bigger person, maybe being off to yourself, maybe seeking advice. Okay? And boom, it's like, it's about being by yourself to really clearly think and to really start things over again. And in that process of starting things over again, you're still going through that change. It's not going to be completely smooth, okay? But the most important thing is to have faith, because whenever you're making such a big change, it won't be easy for others. Who knows how you'll make this relationship change? But for some of you, it's a family issue. Some others, it's a new relationship that wants to move forward, but it moves forward in a negative way, and especially right here, right? So it could be a new relationship, or a relationship that's taking up a new level, okay, for some of you, and it's not a good idea. It seems right at first, but it's not the best thing, because the person might have their own goals for the relationship that you are unaware of, right? So be mindful. Some of you Virgos have to be mindful how you protect your money when it comes to your relationship, or the money that you've earned already. Maybe you're retired, right? Or maybe you know someone that's retired and they're going into a relationship, and they just have to be careful with their money. Like if they're getting married, they have to make sure that they protect their assets, right? And for others that are single, you have to manage your money as a Virgo. Create for the new year, if you don't have a strong home or foundation, or you felt like this year you're moving a lot, you have to create that strong foundation. So I'm going to start, I know I mentioned this years ago, and I can't remember if I did the videos or not, but manifesting with the tarot. Excuse me. So manifesting with the tarot. All right. So what signs or planet is harder for you to learn from, vibe with? So you have Scorpio, which is a water sign, which, Virgo's opposite is Cancer, but still. And you have the Sun, right? So the Sun is a very fiery sign, a very fiery planet, and it vibes with fiery signs. So the lesson here could be a person liking to do things their own way, their own strength, their own power, and their own individuality. You might not, that clash would be hard to understand, but that person is more like you than you realize. What is easy for you to vibe with and understand? And I'm shuffling that thing, but I don't know. It seems like Scorpio is like the person that you can also learn from. When this pops up twice in readings, I find that the person that you're struggling with is the one that you really need not to, because you can learn a lot from them. Neptune, Uranus, it's Uranus, and I think I read it as Neptune before, but it's Uranus. So Uranus is coming back again for what you need to switch to, and it's a powerful switch. It's a powerful switching of how you think, right? So yes, you can kind of go against something, but the powerful change that you can actually do is realize that, hey, I'm going the wrong way, and make that change. Okay? All right. Capricorn. All right. Capricorn reading, okay, for December. So I like to have my mantras going while I shuffle. Okay, so the year, what sums up the year, I have back here, but also it's like a message for December, which is the High Priestess for you guys, okay? So it's about what your intuition was throughout this year. Did you listen to it? Did you not listen to it, right? And really, do you still need to work on respect or respect, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, respect for women, respect for yourself if you're not a woman, or if you are, you know, just spirituality, different understandings of things, right? When this card comes up, it really takes a person to see beyond what they were taught, how they feel, and just see the whole cosmic cycle of life itself, right? This, and your own subconscious mind. So everything that this card means, you know, did you understand it? Was there some kind of conflict in your mind? You know, can you see things as relatable, the good and bad within it? You know, so all of this stuff, right? All right, so you came to tarot and you thought it was lofty or la-di-da-di, but then you find it's about real life. These 78 cards, they're about real life stuff, right? So where are you going? Where is your mind? What is your thoughts, right? It's a message for December for you, right? It's a message of moving yourself forward, being curious, right? Maybe you're curious about someone, a relationship, and it didn't pan out the way that you hoped that it would, okay? And then you bring your focus back into work, but maybe this person or the situation was still lingering, and some of you had to move away from it, or really get that timeline of events correct, but it was still stressful for you. It was still like a negative issue, and you still have to allow yourself to move forward, right? To get on with your life and to just allow things to be what it is. And the most important thing that you can do is actually learn from this situation that you've been through. Because if you didn't learn from it, then you know, it will still be an issue, something that you have to deal with in the future. Okay? And you also had to really charm kind of your way, or create a better type of energy for yourself moving forward from everything that you were experiencing. So you really had to really create a better energy around yourself. And then you were able to get back on track, get your life back on track. Okay. So this is the energy. So it's really about you really seeing things for what they really are, and be mindful of your words, what you say. For others, it's being mindful, feeling like nothing could bother you, and you weren't being careful with your words, and it affected your work, or it affected your life, right? And you were able to continue on, but you know, you had to still kind of say, make peace with your past, or what you said, right? Because your words, and it's really powerful. It's like your words really affect other people's life, right? And it's like that, where's that level or that gauge of you can say whatever, but then you have to deal with the responsibility of it. Depends on what the situation is. It's kind of like checking the temperature of the room, you know, before you open your mouth, right? But then on the other hand, another interpretation is, you know, some people might feel, or someone's experience might be, they didn't mean for it in that way. Then it's a really great time. I think of the Hierophant, you know, but it's a really great time. Maybe the Temperance is the best message, but it's a really good time to think about what we're saying and be balanced mind. Have a balanced mind, right? And know your purpose of what you're doing and what you're saying, right? And the moon before that, right? The moon is our emotions, right? And our fears and illusion, things that you thought was one way, but it wasn't. So it's really thinking for oneself. And Capricorns can, you know, are very strong, but then you can be very solid about what you think, you know, good or bad, right? So easy to learn from, easy to learn from. Okay, so we have Libra. Libra is all about balance. So, you know, maybe this person or this type of energy is all about you finding balance again in your life. And then the sun represents the self. So really working on the self. Okay? What's difficult to learn from? Okay, Gemini. Okay? So it's an air sign, so it'll be harder to really relate or vibe with a Gemini. And then Uranus is really asking you to or not Uranus, this one is Neptune. Okay, so I had to like look at it. So Neptune, all right, so Neptune is really asking you to be very spiritual about things, to really look deep, kind of like connecting to that high priestess energy. So not just going on what is like, say, just a tradition or just what you think is a structure, right? Right? Because this could represent like a, say, a church or what you're familiar with, right? But not only what you're familiar with, but whether it's religion or a thought or whatever, right? Apply it to your life. It's just a way of being. So good or bad, or not being able to understand it, right? Neptune is saying, okay, how can you be more spiritual about it and maybe feel and like intuition more, right? So sometimes as humans, we're trained to let go of our animal instincts, and that's our protective shield, our survival way, and then we're just trained to be what someone else wants. So really thinking for yourself, and that Gemini is that air to breathe. It's kind of like being free to really be yourself, right? In the most positive way. And then it's also balance too. With the twins, it's that balance energy, right? When it's to be good and when it's to be bad, or when it's to be this way and when it's to be the other. I think I covered everything for the earth signs. Thank you guys for watching. Happy December. I hope that you end the calendar year well. And I thank you guys for watching.